today. My name is Mary, and I am so excited to be back home in New Zealand and presenting here on stage today. I've lived in Queensland for the last 9 years, and while I love the Sunshine Coast, I do miss New Zealand and family and friends. I joined Stampin' Up when I moved to Australia to meet other crafters, and what keeps me part of the Stampin' Up family is the incredible team that I am so lucky to be part of, and the amazing products we have at Stampin' Up, like the one I'm sharing with you today. Please excuse me if I have to look at my cards. I have to. So the stamp that I'm sharing with you today is called Here's a Card, and here it is. Here's a Card is a cling stamp set. It's a greeting-only card. It has 14 fabulous greetings for all occasions. You are going to have a lot of fun with this stamp set, believe me. The font is absolutely gorgeous, and the greetings are just beautiful. A couple of my favourites are, I can't begin to count the number of times we've laughed together. And up here, mostly because numbers are hard, because I am very bad at numbers. I really love this one here. I'm here if you need me. I really love that sentiment. But probably my most favourite is this tiny little one here. Well, it's not tiny, but you know, this wee one here. You made my day. Because to me that makes me think of gratitude and thankfulness, which is so often a reason that we are making a card for people. Let me just make sure I'm at the right place here. I think the name of the stamp set, Here's a Card, really speaks to what Stampin' Up is at its core, which is stamp, ink and paper. Here's a card. So we know our customers are always looking for versatile greetings that they can use for all occasions, and that work alone, or they can mix with other imagery, and Here's a Card is perfect for that. I think I've got that wrong. Is perfect to mix and match. Today, for some of my samples, I've paired Here's a Card with the Winter Woods, which is one of my favourite carryover sets. It has great imagery and works really well with Here's a Card. My first sample is aimed at the beginner stamper. Maybe I have got it in the right place. Okay. My first card is aimed at the beginner stamper, and I wanted a beginner stamper to feel confident and happy, which is why I use Happy Birthday, because everyone has a birthday, right? So I would encourage a first-time stamper to purchase our core product of Whisper White Night cards, and I just stamped down the card without re-inking, so they can get the idea of a shadow, or a shadowing technique without having to do anything fancy. I put the greeting in them inside. Did I mention that the stamp set works on the outside and the inside, which is awesome? I don't know if I did, but I meant to say that. And then I made you a card because you're worth it. Oh my gosh, they are so worth it. And I added some twine because it looked pretty simple, and I do like a nice bow. And you're probably thinking, wow, Mary, that is pretty blooming simple, and it is, but it is aimed at a first-time stamper, and you want them to be confident and have a good experience, right? Thank you. For my second sample, I aimed it at a casual customer. Thank you. I used that Happy Birthday image again, and this time I brought in the trunk image from Winter Woods, and I just stamped on Calypso Coral and Versamark. I didn't have any designer series paper to use, so I kind of felt that gave it a little bit of a lift, and you know, I think it looks pretty. And I brought that outside greeting to the front by stamping it onto a piece of vellum. I made you a card because you're worth it. Isn't that so cute? I love that saying. And then just a little bit of another little bow, which is kind of my thing. I don't know how it goes. My mother brought me up dressed in bows. There you go. In a class, can I just bring those back up? Sorry. In a class, I would use those as a base and show my customers how to use all the greetings so they can have a card for all occasions. And I might even have a class and I might call it, here's a card class. Get it? Here's a card class. Featuring 14 fabulous greetings. There you go. For the casual and avid customers, I would probably include some techniques using the markers and some sponges to maybe get a little upsell with some markers or sponges, or some heat embossing with a heat tool, and they would probably enjoy that. For an avid customer, I would introduce some additional techniques and tools. So for this card, this is an avid customer card. So I love Coastal Cabana. I did a watercolour wash on the background and some die cutting with the Winterwoods sprigs and leaves. And I heat embossed the sentiment in gold embossing powder. I love to heat emboss, it's magic. An avid customer will like this style, I hope, because it uses multiple products and tools. An avid customer might also like to make a fun pocket card. Because most of all of my relatives live here in New Zealand, I do send a lot of gift cards as gifts. And one of my favourite things to do is to make a fun pocket card. And on one of my many visits to Pinterest, I found a pocket style card that suited my style, and here's a card. So I ran a piece of crumb cake cardstock through the basket weave embossing folder. I heat embossed my favourite sentiment. I can't begin to count the number of times we've laughed together.
So the pages you will find these products are on 36 to 41 of our new annual catalogue. We'll also see you'll see that both of these suites have wonderful sentiments for all occasions, and I just love that you can make a variety of creations. So let's have a look. We have a beautiful range of stamps, dies, designer series paper, memories and more cards, and so much more. So let's have a look. First of all, we have a Magnolia Lane beautiful DSP. Isn't that divine? Then we have our Garden Lane DSP. I need bigger hands for this. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Our Good Morning Magnolia set. Our Verdant Garden. Our beautiful Memories and More cards, and it's got vellum. It's got vellum in there, vellum, and stickers, and it's got beautiful, beautiful cards. Oh my gosh, new card. And our awesome dies, which I have stuck on. Woo! There we go. There's so many, I can't get it in. There you go. That was a bit rude. A few embellishments. And, oh, I love this, and I think I've used on everything that I've done today. A beautiful combo pack of ribbon. Look, I have used it all, there's nothing left. Okay, so let's get started. So, the great thing about this is most of the things I'm going to show you right now is available on the PPP. So Emma, stop talking. Let's get showing. Let's do it. I'll just make some space because I've got so many products. products. There's all the spaces. Come on. I love you too. Okay, here we go. Our Good Morning Magnolia set is primarily designed for... That was too soon. Just a sneak peek. Our Good Morning Magnolia set is primarily designed for card making. However, I'm going to show you various ways to use it with a lot of different customers in mind. The stamp set here is line art images, which makes it great for using for a range of colouring techniques. I have made this wonderful card that you have not seen yet. For our avid customer of mine, we're using the Good Morning... Is that awesome? Yay! Thank you. Avid customer of mine, I've used the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set and new dies. I've used Garden Green cardstock. And for the base, I've used our Garden Lane DSP. Now I stamped this beautiful image and then I coloured it with our blends, our saffron light on the petals, and then on the leaves I used, it was old olive light and mint macaroon dark. Doesn't it make it pop when you use the two completely different colours? Cork embellishments, I love those. And I've also added our combo ribbon. So what do you think? Isn't that cute? Okay. So part of our Magnolia Lane suite, we have these lovely note cards, which I just showed you quickly. They are so stunning and they've got this beautiful detail edging. See the... Can you see that? Yeah. And then it's got the lovely insert that you can put in the envelope. How cute are they? Come on, that was, yeah. We also have our Memory and More cards, which we have so many different things in those. Sorry, there are so many different ways to use those. And they've been designed for you to be able to cut them all different ways. Portrait, landscape. Remember Pam Morgan taught us that? Do you remember that? So here I have a card to show you for our casual customer using our new note cards. Yay, isn't it cute? So I used our note cards and used the vellum out of the Memories and More. I stamped it and I daubered with a little bit of
American daubered.
So that's super cute, super easy but fun, and our casual customers will just love it. Oh, and looky here, I used our ribbon combo again. As you can tell, I love that. Okay, so next we're moving on to this beautiful card that I love. Now, when I first saw this suite, I just knew it would be perfect for a wedding or an anniversary. So this next project is for an avid customer. You're gonna love this. Look at this, Tom. Oh, there we go. Now you're probably going, how did she make that? Well, let me tell you. So I've used a thick Whisper White cardstock. Then I used our Magnolia Lane DSP. But I am super in love with our new 3D Magnolia embossing folder. It is so beautiful. And what I did is I used the watercolour paper with the no line colouring technique. There you go, that's what I did. So then I fussy cut it out. How beautiful. So, and then I made this super beautiful, because the embossing 3D folder actually has two flowers, two different sizes. So looky here, beautiful. So you're probably wondering, Emma, look at that plant. And overseas, our lovely overseas demos, I've been told by our beautiful Shelley, we don't know what plant means, so I'm going to say braid. I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful plant braid.
Plant braid.
And here we go. Now, for this card, Will you marry me, Tom? So with this, here we go. So with this braid plait, and I used 60 centimetres here, which is about, I don't know, 100 inches. But I'm sure you guys are being a little bit rude when you laugh. Okay, so I've got a bigger bit, just because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, I will put this video up on Pinterest afterwards. Here we go. Wish me luck. If it's as good as Brian's stamping, we may be in trouble. Okay, so here we go. Beautiful. Guess what? New combo ribbon. So we start with a hoopy thing.
A loop?
Do you like my nails? Don't they look good? Okay, so we're going to turn... Now, depending if you're lefty or righty, you can either do it either way. Anyway, so here we go. Ready, Tom? This could get dangerous. Right. One little hoopy round. Hold it with your beautiful manicured finger. Two hoopy round. And then we're going to tuck the little baby under there. Boom. First step. Then we're going to come back over, pull this little baby. Oh, okay. And then, you guys, and then we're going to pull it over to this side and pull it over there. What do you reckon? Is that, you see what I'm doing? Please say yes. Okay, now as you go, it will get tighter, but you want it to keep quite flat. Oh, don't lose that bit. And then we're going to go over that again, and then we're going to come under. Anyway, my video is amazing. And then we're going to go over there again. Look at this. See, do you see what I'm doing? It looks really bad, right? But you get the idea. So then you keep going. This is a big one. And then you pull it at the end, and it looks like this. So they're just lovely, lovely cards. So like I said, I have a 150-year-old magnolia tree in my garden, and my boys used to love playing on it. They're a bit big now. So I made these pages, which they inspired me. So here we go. So this is Luke, and this is my son Milan, and I just put these pages, and that's the big magnolia tree behind them. But I mean, I love how the cards work. There's Luke up the tree. But what was really funny was when I was doing this, I realised that I dressed my son like Papa Smurf. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I honestly did not mean to, but I was looking at the photos and I'm going, oh, my poor son. He even had like blue boots on. I'm like, so 21st, those photos will be coming out. So there we go. So those are cute, eh? Or sentiments on each one. But these are so cute for our beginner customer. Do you see those, Tom? Are you doing your job right this time, Tom? And of course we all have to stamp our envelopes. So this... Did he do something else? So this project would be great for our beginners class, or maybe getting customers around to have a coffee. So, I am so in trouble. Yeah, beautiful, love this paper, and I've made this prezi that I'm going to show you next. And it's actually, I was thinking of my buddy in UK, Paula Gorry. Yeah, she's our DDM over there, and she just loves flowers, and it's her birthday coming up, so I thought, yay, this is for her. Don't tell her. Hi, Paula. Okay, hope you like your present. Don't tell me if you don't. Okay, so here we go. So here we go. Oh, yeah, I didn't hear you. Isn't it beautiful? So how I did this is I used our new dies, which are just amazing. You're going to love them because they have got this, Tom? The 3 different ones that you can layer, different sizes. And then you've got these cute little thingies in the middle. What are they called? Thingies. And then you can stack those. And as you can see, I've done that here. So I've used the magnolia die for the flower and the leaves and the foil leaves. And then I used our new stitched label dies. Cute. And then I embossed the hello. How do you say that in Germany? Hello. or in America, hello there. Oh, in Canada, hello, eh? I am so in trouble. Okay, so here we go. So that was my front, and then I did these beautiful cards for her to use in many occasions. So we got congratulations. Look at that paper. Congratulations. Thinking of you. Look at that paper, isn't it? Oh look, my combo ribbon. Love, love, love. Happy birthday to you. Don't sing, it's terrible. Okay. And then thanks. So I did 4 different designs, 8 cards. So aren't they cute? Do you love those?
You can see that there are some really woodsy nests. I love nests. Every time I see one, and I saw one last week, I think of my mother who's passed. She collected nests, and so that was some inspiration for us. And birds, my sister who passed away a little over a year ago loved birds. She knew the birds, she had birds all over her home, not real birds, like prints of birds. And so these are some of the inspirations. The feathers, you'll see feathers in the kit, not real ones, because that wouldn't work overseas, but vellum ones, they're gorgeous. And you can see there on the right upper corner that there are some elements, some metallic elements, some trinkets that will be included, not those, but that's the inspiration for it. And then on the very, very right, you'll see that we've got some coordination within the catalog. So Set and the dies coordinate with the paper pumpkin kit. So you've got a little highlight. It doesn't talk about everything. Some of the textures inside of the kit. I love velvet. I love texture. And so you'll see some texture with the ribbons inside of the kit. And as you can see, this kit will be arriving, well, you can't see it yet, but you will. This kit will be arriving in its own specially designed box. There you go. We call it Hugs from Shelley because it's all about expressing gratitude for others. And of course, I also hope that it will be like getting a hug from me as you get your kit. And as with all paper pumpkin kits, you'll get projects that have been pre-cut, pre-designed, and ready to stamp. This particular kit has enough materials to make 12 cards, 3 each of 4 different designs. And because this is my paper pumpkin kit, and I'm kind of special, I guess, I'm teasing. It just happened to work out this way, I think. But I wanted to make sure that demonstrators and customers of all of our markets have the opportunity to purchase it and share it. So I think that you and your customers are going to love the kit, so please plan to share it with everyone. I do have a couple of details though. The Hugs from Shelley kit will be great for, well, the details will come in a minute, but they'll be great for new paper crafters because the projects are so easy to make and it has a low price point as well. Casual customers will love the kit as well because it provides a coordinated stamping experience, and we know that we all love that actually. And something very else, excuse me, very special about this kit is that it coordinates with, I don't need water, I'm good. I can see me panicking back there. Shelley's gonna croak on stage and we need to get her water. No, I'm not, I just need to yeah, I think we're good. Anyway, it coordinates with, as you saw, the Bird Ballad Suite in the new catalog. That means that the Hugs from Shelley kit will give you the opportunity to draw in your avid customers and point them towards the other catalog products that coordinate with the kit. Show them the coordination and invite them to order the suite as well as the kit. They will love being able to mix and match the stamp sets and the extra embellishments to their kit projects and make additional projects with the designer series paper and the dies. So there's lots of coordination, and FYI, the Bird Ballad Suite is part of a product spotlight. So you can share those projects with your customers as well. So here are the important details about buying the Hugs from Shelley Paper Pumpkin Kit. Starting May 15th, demonstrators and customers in the South Pacific, Europe, and Japan can buy the Hugs from Shelley Paper Pumpkin Kit just as you would as you order any other product through our website or on a customer or demonstrator order. And the Hugs from Shelley kit is being offered, this is very important, while supplies last. We always think we order enough, and sometimes we don't plan perfectly, but we think we've ordered enough. No subscription will be necessary here in the South Pacific or Europe or Japan. In North America, my kit will be available through our existing subscription service. And I'm sure that you probably have more questions, but don't worry, because on April 13th, we will post a promotion details page for demonstrators in the Happening Now section of the Demonstrator website. You'll find resources to help you sell the kit, including printable flyers and images that you can share with your customers. And of course, look for a summary about selling my kit in the weekly updates on April 16th, so that's next week. Now, how about a little sneak peek of one of the cards for my kit? Would you like to see one?
Yeah.
Okay, there's one. Super easy to make, super easy. I love that card, and I mentioned earlier, I love all of the cards, and usually, you don't know this about me maybe, but I send birthday cards to all of our employees worldwide, and the front desk stamps them and duplicates nearly 500 of them for the year. And after about the first couple of months, it's like, oh my gosh, do I have to write another card that looks like that? I get tired of things. I don't know if you're like me, but I want some variety. And I still, after a whole year of looking at these and planning, I still look at them and I get excited. So I hope you get excited too. Remember that there are 3 more beautiful cards in the kit, which you'll get to see when you buy the kit. Yes, I know, you thought I'd show you, but no. And now I have a special surprise for you. The card that you see on the screen is one of today's make and takes, so you can take it home.
Started off as plain line drawings that were coloured by the concept artist with our blends. These were then turned into the DSP so that your DSP coloured images will coordinate perfectly with the Bird Ballad DSP. Now, the Bird Ballad suite consists of the Free as a Bird stamp set, which you will have already seen in your catalogue. It's got 6 line art images, 6 beautiful greetings, like we're the best of friends, the world needs more of you, which are very versatile, so they'll go for lots of different occasions. Also, in this suite, available separately or as a bundle with the stamp set, are the stitched, nested label dies. So the dies come in 8 different sizes, and they've got stitching on the inside and the outside so that you can use them either way. And there's also a straight strip of stitching here. This doesn't cut, but it just puts a line of stitching on your projects. Also in this suite, as I mentioned earlier, is the beautiful Bird Ballad DSP. So one side's got these bird and floral images, different floral images. On the other side, they've got single colour coordinating designs and a stripe. So stripes you can use for anything. These are the birds and the flowers on this side I find are perfect for fussy cutting. So if you love fussy cutting, or even if you don't, you can use some punches and punch out some shapes. Also in the suite is the bird-bellied trinkets, which come in an antique colour. There are 4 different trinkets. So the key and the leaf have holes in them so that you can thread them onto your twine or ribbon or anything like that. And I've just attached the flower and the bow with glue dots. So they're not too big and heavy, so the glue dots hold them perfectly. And they're also not too heavy if you want to be able to post your projects as well. So you get 6 of each of those trinkets in the packet. Can't have a suite without a ribbon or a lace. So this is the very vanilla lace that goes in this suite. It's very soft, very easy to tie into a bow or add a ruffle to your cards. It's very subtle colour too, so as much as it's very vanilla, it's also perfect for using on white projects as well, white-based projects. Okay, and last but definitely not least is this beautiful tin. It's petal pink and gold, the leaf design. I'll show you there. And inside the tin, you get 12 of these beautiful laser-cut cards. They're very vanilla, so that's the card there. And the envelope has got a scallop on the back.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, yum. So you get 12 of those in the tin. So I think the tin with the incomplete cards, or the cards as they are, would be perfect for a gift as a stamper. So you could give that to somebody and they could complete their own cards. Or if you prefer, you can complete the cards and then give them as a gift with completed cards inside. Now, using this suite in my business, this suite was designed for avid crafters, but I will show you in a moment with my samples that it's also quite perfectly usable for beginner stampers or casual stampers. To use this suite, if I wasn't already lucky enough to have the whole suite, this is one that would have appealed to me immediately. So it's one, and I'm sure it will appeal to my customers as well. So I would have purchased the whole suite in the product purchase premiere, and then started making my samples as soon as possible. A variety of samples from beginners cards up to avid cards to show my customers and potential customers the versatility of this suite. Okay, speaking of samples, the first one I have to show you is aimed at beginner stampers. So all I've done here is taken one of the laser cut cards and cut the centre out of the card just with some snips.
That's pretty.
I've stamped the birds. I've stamped the birds and the greeting on crumb cake cardstock, and then I've just adhered that inside the card with a little bit of Tombow glue. Very simple, very few supplies. This would be a perfect card to put on my blog, on Pinterest, put in my newsletters. Make sure I use the hashtag simple stamping so that if there are customers out there looking for simple, quick ideas, then it's very easy for them to find their ideas. Make sure that I've linked all my social media posts back to my blog so that if they have any further questions, or of course if they'd like to order the products, then it's very quick for them to do so. And also once you've cut the doily out of the middle, you end up with a doily that you can use on separate projects. Okay, for my casual stamper, I've gone into a little bit more detail. I stamped the birds this time on Whisper White and coloured them in with the blends markers. Now I've only used 8 blends markers to colour this image in, and it's a great way, I think, to get your customers interested in the blends markers. 8 colours, they don't need to buy the whole range at once, but because they're sold separately, it's a great way to get them involved and interested in building their own collection. I've had a little bit of twine and of course one of the antique bird-bellied trinkets tied on there. Now I've put the greeting on a separate piece. I like to do that to add an extra layer to my card, but also if I use this card in a class, which it would be perfect for a class because the image didn't take too long to colour. So I know with some of the images, you're waiting for people to colour images in classes and you're thinking, we're running out of time, you need to hurry. But this was a really good image to colour, but it didn't take too long at all. Back to the greeting. So I find that sometimes if customers stamp their greeting straight onto the card and they're not happy with how they've stamped, then they feel like they've ruined their card. Whereas if it's on a separate piece of card, if they're not happy with how they've stamped, then it's very easy for them to start again. Okay, my next sample is aimed at avid crafters. Again, I've stamped the bird ballad image, the bird image on Whisper White, coloured it in a little bit more detail this time with the blends markers. And I've used a combination of fussy cutting and one of the stitched nested label dies, it's a bit of a mouthful, to cut out the image. Now, then I stamped some of the little flowers that are in the stamp set. I stamped them separately and cut them out, and I've shaped them with the stylus end of my Take Your Pick tool and the Stampin' Pierce mat, just to add a little bit more depth to there. And of course the pearl rhinestones in the middle. Now this is not a card that I'd use for one of my classes, it's a little bit too involved, but I'd make sure that I show it to my customers so that they can be inspired to see what else that they can do with this suite. And when I post this card on my blog, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, all of those, make sure I link it back to my blog, because I'll tell my customers that I'll have a video showing them the technique of that cutting out of the image if they're interested in having a look. Now the next one I mentioned fussy cutting before, and I love fussy cutting. So this card, I started again with the beginner card. It's very easy to see how you can go from a beginner card to a bit more advanced. There's a little bit of crumb cake stamping in the background, and I fussy cut one of the bird images from the DSP. The greetings on a separate strip, and I've cut the end of the strip with the stitch nested label die, and then there's a little ruffle of lace underneath just to finish it off. So as I said, all of the samples, I'd make sure I got them online as soon as possible. I think it's important, especially at this time of year with the new catalogue coming out. I know lots of my customers will be looking out for updates and seeing as many sneak stamp set. It's a cling rubber set. Sorry, Tom. And it features these lovely open line drawings with hand-drawn charcoal elements. It's a distinctive set, so it has a great level of detail, and these drawings are perfect for many different colouring techniques. The coordinating dies are the smooth sailing dies. Some of the dies cut out the imagery in the stamp set, and then there are other dies which are standalone, such as the seaweed, the ship's wheel, these little pointers which go on the compass. And the feature in these dies is there some embossed detail on a few of them. So they cut and emboss. I don't know if you can see that there. The label holders have stitching around the edges, which is very popular. And this is how the sentiments stamp up into the various different labels. Of course, we've got the Come Sail Away Designer Series paper. So it's 12 by 12. It features nautical images and masculine colours. And the feature in this one is this particular one, which features nautical newspaper clippings, which have been arranged on a sheet by the Stampin' designer. For embellishments, we've got, oops, it's not done, baker's twine, which is Sahara sand and night navy, very elegant. And we've got trinkets, my favourite, probably my favourite thing in the suite. There's a ship's anchor and a little ship's wheel. They are very detailed, a lovely silver colour. And we do have a Memories and More pack. So they are a pack of 56 cards and 4 sticker sheets. The feature in the pack are these lovely laser cut sheets. They're absolutely unique, texture on the front, absolutely gorgeous. And the stickers, which are Stampin' Up's normal high quality. And then we've got the cards. Now these feature absolutely amazing imagery, similar to what's in the stamp set. And my favourites are probably these little single images, which are perfect for putting on a card front. The whole set is just perfect for making cards, and I have a few samples on the display board after the presentation is finished. Now there is one thing in the suite which you may have noticed, the 3D embossing folder.
We're not focusing on it today because it's not available in the product purchase premiere. It will, however, be available later on when the catalogue goes live, and it's fabulous. So, let's move along to some samples. Now I go over time. Great. Okay. So first up, as I said, this suite was designed with the avid crafter in mind. So I've created a sample which does use many things from the suite. So here I've used...
Told you she was a beautiful
So we all know that an avid crafter are people pretty much like us who have everything, want everything, and like to use everything. Maybe not all in one card, but they like to use a lot of stuff, and they usually like a technique or two. So here I've used the stamp set, I've used the dies, I've used the designer series paper, and the embellishments. I've included a technique with a watercolour wash in the background, and I've used a masking technique to create that straight horizon line. I've also featured the dies which have the embossed detail, and I put a little bit of ink over the top just to highlight that beautiful texture. I've featured a little combo of the dies here as a foreground image, and I've also included the baker's twine and the trinkets. I did also create a little matching gift bag with my Simply Scored. And again, this shows off the stamp set, the dies, the trinkets, the baker's twine, which I've plaited, and of course the designer series paper. Now, if you're going to show a product such as these very detailed products, the best way to do that is on your blog or on your social media page. Of course, don't forget to add a list of all of the products that you've used, although it may be long, and include a call to action such as your Shop Now link so that your avid stampers can go off and buy everything. Now, while this was designed with the avid crafter in mind, the suite is also perfect for the beginner stamper. So here I've created a sample which has the simple stamping mantra in mind. It features the Whisper White note cards and envelopes, one ink pad, which is Night Navy, the images from the stamp set, and a little strip of designer series paper. It's a great, simple, low-cost item, great to have for a beginner class. And if you are going to show this off in a class, you could also show how that one stamp set, the one ink pad, and the various different designer series papers can make a lovely little kit of matching cards. This particular card makes a great make and take at a workshop or a craft market. Very minimal supplies required to create this, and it's a great low-cost beginner's purchase. And if your beginner's budget will stretch to it, if she gets the baker's twine and the trinkets, she can significantly step up this project with very little extra cost outlay. Now, it goes without saying that if a stamp set is suitable for an avid crafter and a beginner stamper, it's also going to be suitable for a casual crafter. So I've created a sample here with the casual crafter in mind. She's someone who maybe crafts once or twice a month for a purpose, and she likes to use punches instead of dies. So here I've created a card using the everyday label punch, which is carrying over to stamp out to punch out the greeting, I've stamped directly onto some designer series paper, give it a little bit of colour with some blends, and added some white in the sails with white craft ink and a blender pen. The little trinket has been coloured up with a Stampin' blend. I think I used crumb cake to give it an aged effect, so you don't always have to have silver. But the feature of the card is definitely this little rope image over the side here. There's one single image in the stamp set. If you use your Stamparatus and the hinge step technique, but move your stamping plate along 2 hinges instead of 1, then the images match up quite nicely. Just make sure that your first image is straight. The best way to show off the hinge step technique is either in person at a class where you can help your crafter if she needs it, or maybe some moving imagery such as a YouTube video or a Facebook Live. These are 2 great ways to connect with your customers and further your customer base. And Of course, if you can sell your stamparatus to your casual crafter, she's one step more towards being an avid crafter. That's what we need. I've got one more sample to show you, and I've gone over time, and this is with using the Designer Series paper, which is a seaweed with the grey and the black, and instead of using masculine colours, I've coloured it up with sponge brayer, melon mambo and flirty flamingo to create this little gatefold card. I've made some ombre paper with Stampin blends and die cut the seaweed to create a little seaweed bouquet. And so this just goes to show you the versatility of this set. There are a few things in it which means that you can create lovely feminine cards as well as your masculine cards.
And our, sorry, that's the daisy punch. This is our medium daisy punch that goes with the medium image at the top here. Today, I will show you a product-based class I have prepared using the beautiful Daisy Lane stamp set. I have designed 4 cards using all the stamps in the set. I feel that it is important to use all the stamps as my customers then feel the stamp set is good value. How many times do we hear that they like a few stamps in a set, but they're not sure what to do with others? I've used the beautiful silver foil edged cards and envelopes that come out in the holiday catalogue. These are another carryover item. I love the style and sophistication of them. I've used the 2018 to 2020 in colour ink pads and cardstock, the blueberry bushel ribbon and the clear faceted gems. Also a small piece of silver foil. The cards are simple to create and will not take long. These are the cards that I have created. I have aimed these cards with the casual crafter in mind. I offer this class on my customer newsletter, on my DBWS, and I create an event on my Facebook page. I will put a product-based class on my newsletter 2 months ahead. I have samples to show 1 month ahead, and have my numbers confirmed and paid for 2 weeks ahead to allow delivery of the product. I've just got a little flyer here I have made up. So this is what I would put on my newsletter, and I also put it up in my class so my ladies can see.